It's been a long time since I posted a video for you guys. I'm no longer at the old ranch. We're moving across the country for a new home. If you remember last December, I bought the box for the next camper conversion and drove across the country to a ranch in Colorado where I was going to build it. And I know you guys think I'm super rich or something, but I'm not. I was on track to be, but you probably already know the story of how I ended up out here. As great as it was to have a great place to work, I was absolutely miserable. It was the dead of winter with temperatures dropping to negative 10 degrees. The barn had no heat and a limited supply of water. And even tougher, I was alone most of the time, with the nearest supplies being an hour drive away. Despite that, I got the 4-wheel drive conversion done with our current rig. I was lucky enough to have some friends drive out and help with the heavy lifting. And now this thing is 4 inches taller with 4-wheel drive and low range. During that time, I started my dream business, Expedition Ranch. The idea to build unique rigs, run giveaways for them, and donate 10% to the protection of our trails and dispersed campsites. Something I actually care about. It's an audacious goal, but it's time to get back in the saddle after losing everything I had back in the beginning of 2023. But once I finished the 4-wheel drive conversion, I got unexpected news. I wasn't going to be able to stay here. Another twist and something I had to figure out. But thankfully, I found a property deep in the Sierra Nevada mountain range where I'd be able to continue my work. And I'll be able to stay there for free, as the owner of the property really likes what I'm doing with Expedition Ranch, and he wants to support my work. And I couldn't be more thankful for that. But now, I need to get our next build ready enough to cross the country. I sold the crane off the back and got a much needed $4,000 for it. Then I just had to remove the flatbed and finally set the ambulance box on the truck. And just like that, we have the base for our next conversion and the moving truck to get all of my tools to the next shop. It was time to say goodbye to this place. I got back on the road for the first time in a long time, making my way from Colorado to California. It was a much needed break to be back in nature. I did my first Nomad meetup, then continued through America's public lands, slowly making my way to the Sierra Nevadas. I was living like I used to, unknown trails, remote campsites, and filling up on water from streams along the way. And today, we finally made it to the Sierra Nevadas, and it's time to see the new property for the first time.
What's up, guys? So right now, we just made it across the country, long road trip. Put about 2,000 miles on the ambulance since we did the 4-wheel drive conversion, and we pretty much just made it here to the new property. We're about to go up the driveway, which is about 4.5 miles long. It's the only property that's up there, and looks like it's just going to be like this all the way up. Anyway, I'm pretty excited to see this new property. I think you guys are going to like it a lot. This is where we're going to be doing the next rig build. And we're probably going to be staying here for the next year or two. All remnants of the old gold mining in the area. No way. Alright, I'm going to have to back up and show you guys this. This is actually on the driveway. Or, it's not a driveway, it's technically a county road. But it may as well be his driveway since it's the only property up here. Alright, come on, Ruger. I have to admit, this place is pretty sweet. Look at that. It's on the driveway. Let's see if we can get down to it. No way. It's on the drive-in. It just keeps going back that way. But this is a pretty deep pool. This is a good spot to jump in and cool off. Let's see if we can get to the waterfall. I don't know if Ruger's gonna be able to get to the waterfall, but I know I am. Somehow. Look at this old setup here. So this is all for gold mining back in the day. I mean, who knows how old this thing is. So I've never been to Northern California. I don't know much about it. I grew up in Southern California near San Diego. That's where I had my janitorial business and did all that stuff, but I never came up here. Then I'm gonna take a dip right over there in that cleaner water. Woo! Let's continue up the driveway. So with this property, it's also someone who reached out to me through social media, and I got to talk to him for a little while. And this is like the perfect scenario. I'll show you guys the house up here when we get to it, but this place is just covered in trails as far as the eye can see. There's dispersed camping everywhere around here. There's a shop, it's 40 by 60 feet. He's got a lot of tools in there that I'm gonna be able to use. And I'm probably going to be here for the next 2 years as we work on Expedition Ranch and the giveaways. The next build is going to take a while, so this is kind of the perfect place to do that because I know I'm going to be able to be here for at least the next 2 years. And this place is kind of like the last place that I was building at. At the last place, the nearest supplies were about 30 minutes away to like get gas and like some basic food. But if you wanted to do any grocery shopping or get any legitimate supplies, be able to go to Home Depot, be able to get any type of lumber, it was about an hour drive. And it's the same thing here. We're 35 miles away from the nearest town that has all the supplies that I need for the next build. And even though it's 35 miles, it's still about an hour-long drive because I can only drive the rig about 25 to 40 miles an hour on this highway down there. It's gonna be really interesting to see this road with snow on it. It's a county road and apparently they plow it, but it's the last one to get plowed because we're the only people here. I'm probably gonna have to drive with chains just to come down this thing when it is snowed in because I definitely don't want to go off any of these ledges. Alright, it looks like we're almost there. I hope you guys are just as excited to see this as I am. Oh, look at that. So this road right here is technically an easement through the property. Go get him! Alright, so I know that's the main house. Gotta love the American flag. So apparently this place was an old sawmill. And that right there is supposed to be the old office for the sawmill. What is that? Look at this thing. So this right here is an old blade for the sawmill. Dang, that thing is big. I mean, imagine the type of wood that they were cutting with this thing. There's my thumb right next to it so you can have some scale. All right, let's drive over to the shop where we're actually gonna be working. And that right there is our shop. Dang, that thing is big. Look at that. Big old 12-foot door. No more worrying about getting the rig inside. Woo! So this right here is the shop where we're going to be building the next rig. It is a huge upgrade to where I was at. We got my bike, some of my tools and stuff that I've already offloaded. Dang, look at this thing. Now I know that this right here is just a temporary project. And this right here is an old tractor that they're rebuilding. It's a little 3-cylinder diesel, but this will be out of here. And then I'm pretty much gonna have all this space to be able to build the next rig.
And there's gonna be a lot going on with that particular build because I'm gonna have to pull the box back off. I'm gonna have to do a restoration to the truck itself, which, I mean, it's not gonna be a full restoration, just like a mild one, but that truck definitely needs some going through. And then we're gonna be TIG welding in here, TIG welding aluminum, because we're gonna be modifying the box on the 450. That's a skill that I don't have. I've done MIG welding before, but just on steel, and TIG welding is a whole new game, and then TIG welding aluminum is, that's a whole nother game. Oh my gosh. We got parts everywhere, gas cylinders, oxyacetylene setup it looks like. Nice steel workbench. Kind of have our woodworking corner over here. This is supposed to be a chainsaw holder, which I think is going to be pretty cool. And then we have all sorts of tools. I don't even know what this is, but we got a massive scroll saw right here. It's a way bigger scroll saw than I've ever seen. We got a lathe. That's going to be really nice. I've never even used a lathe before. Air compressor, drill press. It looks like this whole thing right here is a table saw. That's pretty cool. So I've been working on a portable table saw for a long time. It's one of those Milwaukee battery powered ones. And that right there is a legitimate table saw. That'll fit a whole sheet of plywood. So I don't know if you guys have ever wrestled a sheet of plywood, like a 4x8 sheet, but it's a lot to manage yourself. Got a router table. That'll be nice. We got a joiner, we got a planer, chop saw set up on a stand. I can't tell you guys how excited I am to work here. This is just gonna be so much to do. What's this? Oh, hey, look at this. This is one of those sandblasters. So, I don't know if you guys can see in there, but you basically stick your hands in here into some gloves, and then you're able to sandblast parts. Let's see if we can open this. Oh yeah. Whoa, I missed that. That is a huge grinder. I mean, look how thick that is. And then we got a whole little workshop over here. All sorts of tools. Ah, he's a DeWalt guy. Yeah, I'm gonna have to bring some red in here. You know, it was a lot to move from the last place and leave that. But this is way better. I mean, huge shop, it's insulated. Not gonna have to worry about heat. Supposed to have a wood burning stove in here. I think that's around the other side of the building. Oh, looks like a generator. Aha, there we go. So that right there is the heater for the building. This is a wood burning stove. And that's how this whole building gets heated. And then this right here is an air compressor that's set up and it's lined inside, so there's air pretty much everywhere inside this building. Oh, this is kind of interesting. What's that? Dang, this thing is cool. I guess this is how we're getting out if we get snowed in. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna know how to operate that. That's a lot of freaking levers. An old Detroit diesel. Princess! I guess that's her name. So that's the new shop. And I don't have the other ambulance here. We just took this one across the country to get up here, and then I'm gonna have to fly back for the F450. So right now it's Tuesday, and I'm gonna be flying back to Colorado, flying into Denver next Monday, and driving the F450 back with all of my tools and stuff. And remember guys, this is a giveaway truck, our first one. If you didn't know, the whole goal with Expedition Ranch, what I'm wanting to do here, what I'm trying to do here, is build really unique off-road campers, give them away to you guys. We have a whole shop with hats, t-shirts. This one actually, this one right here is my dog Ruger. But every $1 spent on the website will get you entered to win this rig. This is a 4-wheel drive F350 with a 7.3 Power Stroke diesel. The giveaway ends on Christmas, but we also have a bunch of bonus prizes that we're doing through the meantime. So the sooner you get entered, the more likely you are to win a prize, whether it's a bonus prize or this rig. So head over to expeditionranch.com. You can get yourself entered by picking up some merch, and it really helps support this channel. I'm definitely gonna need some help because the next rig is going to be a big project. And what's cool is while I'm here, I'm not gonna be staying in this rig, and I'm not gonna be staying in the shop. when I built this thing, I actually lived inside of it while I built it. You know, I'd always been doing stuff on a budget, and the way for me to be able to even build this thing was to go ahead and sleep on the floor while I built it. This time, we don't have to do that. So let's go ahead and show you guys the cabin that I'm gonna be staying at while I'm here. Ruger, let's go! And over there is one of the trails that'll actually go back into the mountains. Well, that's a little steep. There it is, my new home. All right, guys, we're here. This is the spot that I'm actually going to be staying for a while. It's just like a little bungalow out in the woods. So there's no Wi-Fi here. There's no cell service, but there is a cell booster. So that's what that wire is. So you only get cell service in here, like inside the living room, not in the kitchen, not in the bathroom or anything else. But it's pretty basic. It's a little old school, but you know, this is a place to lay my head. This is a lot better than I've had it in the past. Before, I've just had to, well, I mean, the last place I was at, it was really rough, really rough. I don't think I can explain that enough. But we got a cute little kitchen, and this is the room that I'm gonna be staying in. Yeah, it's small, it's basic. Already got my stuff in here. I'm just gonna be working most of the time. I'm gonna be down in the shop, so this is really perfect. All right, now I want to show you guys the coolest part on this property, which is all the trails. There's a lot of them. Pretty much the game plan for this next year is I'm just going to be working a lot on building the next rig. That is going to be my big job. Now, the cool thing is that I'm still going to be able to get out and film, getting out and using this rig. So something that I've kind of struggled with for a long time is finding some balance. And I'm really looking forward to the balance here, because what I'm going to do is I'm pretty much going to work on the other rig for a week, maybe 2 weeks at a time. And then I'm just going to go back into these mountains and hang out for a week or two, do some computer work, stuff like that. All right, and this is where we're going to camp for the night. So there's this little pond back here. It looks like a lake right now, but it is a pond. And this spot is only a couple miles away from the house. Look at how beautiful this is. It's just pristine. There's no one out here. I can't believe this is all right here in my backyard. Not a bad setup. So yeah, this is probably where I'm going to be for the next 2 years. Taking on the 450 project and finishing out the giveaway for this rig right here. Now, I wanted to finish this video by giving you guys a little update on the channel, because I know I haven't posted in a while, and it's frankly just because I've been extremely busy. I've only been able to do short form content, but the stuff I post here is going to change a little bit. I'm going to try to do a little less editing and a little less craziness to make things look really nice. And I just want to share the experience of doing this thing with you. Now, what's really going to change is that we're going to be starting a build series on the 450. So this channel is going to have a lot more build content. The whole thing with Expedition Ranch is build, protect, explore, or build, explore, protect. It's going to be a mix of getting out here and using rigs like this, and then also building rigs like this. Because I want to show you guys how I built this thing, how I'm building the next one. So if you do want to build something, hopefully this channel will become home for you guys, and you can go off and build some really unique rigs. And if you don't want to go through that whole process, well, grab a t-shirt. It'll get you entered to win this rig. This one's fully decked out for full-time living. It's a really sweet rig. I've been out of it full-time for the last 3 years, and it's completely changed my life. And I really hope that this rig can change someone else's life like the way it changed mine. And another thing here, guys, I'm not wealthy, like at all. This property that I'm out of, it's by the kindness of Brian's heart that he's letting me stay out here. I wouldn't be able to do that. I wouldn't be able to pay for it. I wouldn't be able to, afford rent, any of that stuff. I'm putting everything right now towards this idea of Expedition Ranch. And it would mean the world to me if you did support and entered into this giveaway. It would mean the world to me. So in the next video, I'm gonna be flying back out to Colorado. We're gonna be picking up the 450. That one's gonna have a lot of work done to it. We're gonna be lifting the roof on it and doing a cab over. So it's gonna be a pretty intense project. But the next video, we're gonna be grabbing that thing, and it's gonna be a lot because that thing is strapped full and I'm not gonna have a place to camp. So we're gonna be hauling butt across the country, and I'm probably gonna be sleeping on the ground or the roof. So if you guys wanna see that, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.